Hello. Did you enjoy your lunch? Yes. I want to see more energy. Kuzu Zampo. So thank you very much, guys. Always my tradition is to take a picture of the audience. Basically, I have a very interesting job, which is a job of futurist, where we watch the trends, we watch the innovation, what's going on, and advise people or organizations to be ready for the future, because the future is volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And one of the trends we talked about this morning is the urbanization. So then I focus on the field of smart cities since many years, since more than 10 years now. And we built the Future Academy to prepare the people for the future in terms of future cities. So thank you very much for inviting me to such wonderful country. It's the first time visit, but I hope it will not be the last time. So I'm a speaker, a global speaker. I travel the world to speak about many concepts related to smart city. Actually, we don't call it smart city, we call it future city, because cities have been smart long time ago, and I will give you some examples. So I travel more than 30 times a year. I visited more than 73 countries. So Bhutan is the country number 74. So my mother thinks that I work with the mafia or I won a lottery to travel. I took a picture with government, with the president, so she doesn't understand what I'm doing. So before talking about the future of cities, we learn from the past. So let me talk about the history of cities and the history of smart cities. So I will start long time ago, focusing on the three pillars of sustainability. These are very important pillars: the economic, the social, and the environmental. Long time ago, million years ago, we live in the area called the hunters and gatherers. So in this area, if we consider the three bubble of sustainability, we find the huge bubble called social, because when we hunt, we gather together and we are socially together, and environmental, because before a long time ago we don't have technology harming the environment, but economically we are not so bad. 10 years back, we become what we call the agrarian age, where we harness food from the land and so on. And this the starting of the beginning of settlement. And the social is good because we harness the food from the land. The environmental is good. The economic bubble is getting bigger and bigger because we started trading the food we harness and so on. In the first industrial revolution, which is on the 1784, it's the beginning of the urbanization because, now we moved from the agrarian area to the industrial area, and then we have manufacturing in the cities. So people are moving to cities to work, and this is the beginning of urbanization. It started with the first industrial revolution. And as we can see, the three bubbles. The economic bubble is getting bigger, but the social bubble is getting smaller, and the environmental bubble is getting smaller. Because the technology we developed basically, affected the environment and also affected our relationship. We work, we are under stress, and so on. So the bubble of the social and environment is getting smaller, but the bubble of the economy is getting bigger. In the second industrial revolution, with the invention of cars and so on, in the 1870s, more and more urbanization, because we can move freely using cars and so on. So people are moving to cities, more industries. We talk about mass production and so on. So again, the bubble of the economy is getting bigger, and the bubble of social is smaller, and the bubble of environment is getting smaller. Because when, for example, as a technology, when we invented the cars, fossil fuel energy and so on, it impacts the environment. The third industrial revolution, 1968, more and more urbanized cities, because people now are settled in cities, they work in cities, everything is happening in cities. So this is just a snapshot of the urbanizing effect. This is Shanghai in 1986 and Shanghai in 2013. You see the difference. So we spoke about the 70% or 75% will be living in cities in 2050. In 2050, we'll have 50 megacity. Now we have 31 megacities, 10 million people living. So we will be 9 billion in 2050. So we have two trends, basically the urbanization and the population growth. These two trends created many problems. Scarcity of jobs, scarcity of water, the technology, the environmental problem, deforestation, scarcity of job, traffic, crime, a lot of problems only out of these trends. The third industrial revolution, these are the bubbles. So the bubble of the economy is getting bigger because we live very, the digital age and life is easy, But again, the environmental bubble and the social bubble is getting smaller. With technology, we are less social. We affect negatively the environment. So this is the third industrial revolution. In the fourth industrial revolution, this is what we are living now. We're living the fourth industrial revolution. We have a lot of technology happening now, from artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, blockchain, big data, 3D printing, you name it. We collected more than 66 technology of the fourth industrial revolution. So again, if we look at the bubble, the economy is getting bigger, but the social and the environmental is getting smaller and smaller. So this is against the nature of humanity, because as a human, we started with 3 balanced bubble. Now we are less social, less environmental friendly, and this is not good, neither for the people or for the environment. Our only reference is GDP. We care about technology more than ourselves, and you leave it. So people are now more connected. They don't talk to each other. They are 100% of their time on social media and so on. So this is the situation where we are now in terms of sustainability. So people or thinkers or think tank people, they realize this is a big problem. But if we carry on doing that, we will be in a big problem in terms of environment, in terms of social connection, etc. So they said, why we don't use the technology of the fourth industrial revolution to solve, to get back the balance of the sustainability. So, and here we talk about smart cities. We talk about green technology to bring back the balance of the environment and so on, by keeping the bubble of the economy bigger. So the idea is to get the two bubbles, the economy and the social, to get them back bigger and bigger, by keeping the bubble of the economy in the same size. So the idea is to get back this balance. So, and here we talk about smart cities. Actually, to get back to the history, we talked about smart cities since 1992. There is a book called, the Technopolis Phenomena, Smart Cities, Fast System Global Network. So the first guy who speak about smart cities was in 1992. And then another person, another researcher, in 1996 start talking about technology, ICT in cities. But the smart city field get, the peak in 2007, starting from 2007, when the United Nations in World Population Prospect, they signed, put this alarm, which is, we are 54% living in city. In 2050 will be 70. We are, 7 billion. In 2050 will be 9, maybe 10. So this alarming situation, people said, why we don't use technology to solve this problem? And this, you see in this chart, the research and innovation in terms of smart city is getting almost exponential. So this is when we started talking about smart cities. We studied more than 362 smart cities projects since 2007, but I will continue telling my story related to this. So what happened since 2007? People, industry, everybody now say, yes, the technology is solution. So this guy, Cedric Price, said the technology is the answer, what is the question? So people started thinking about the technology to solve the problem of cities since 2007. So what happened? In this picture, you see that the city is the government, we have the academia, and we have the industry. So companies like Microsoft, IBM, Cisco, Intel, they jump on the opportunity. We can solve the problems of cities, and we have the solution. Basically, they have the solution, and they try to provide this solution to the government to solve the city. So this is what we call Generation 1.0, as mentioned by Cohen-Boyd. So the solution comes from the industry. We have some smart cities, following this generation, like, for example, Planet Valais or Songdo. And in this generation, the vision is led by private industry. And these cities basically considered as failure because they focus on technology. They don't care about the government needs and they don't care about the citizen needs. So this is the first generation. So again, my point, when we started thinking about smart cities since 2007, we start in the wrong way. We start thinking about technology, and this is wrong because cities are for people. So they focus on technology, and again, the bubble of the economy is getting bigger, and the bubble of social and environmental is getting smaller. So we didn't solve the problem of the balance between the three bubbles, the balance of the sustainability balance. And this leads us to cities like what we call ghost cities. Cities which are very smart in terms of technology, but are not livable. People, they cannot live there. And some people talk about example about the big brother like China, so high tech, but people are not happy, are, spied, the big brother. So it's technology-led cities. And then people start to think, okay, this is the wrong way. So let's bring another generation. So now in the second generation, the government say, stop, I will take the lead. The cities, I am representing the cities, I have to propose my problem, and you, industry, you have to come up with a solution. And this is the second generation. So in the second generation, what happened? The vision is led by cities, by the government, and the industry is here to support. So the industry basically does not provide solution, for whatever problem. They provide solution for a problem for specific cities. So we have some successful story like Rio de Janeiro, Barcelona, and Singapore, where the cities, governors, they take the lead in the development of the smart city, not the industry. Again, they fall in this problem. You see, the government join hand with the industry to solve the problem, but the citizens are not there. So they face such problems. So the government and the industry, they design solution, but the citizens, they have their opinion. So what is the solution now is the third generation. Let's engage the citizen. And this is where we are. So what happened now, the government, they said, okay, we don't focus on the technology, we don't focus on the industry solution. Let's focus on the citizen. And this is the generation number 3 of smart cities. So this is the history of smart cities. I'm talking about the history till now. So they come to the generation where we focus on the citizen, on the quality of life, and the citizen, basically, they said the problem are coming from the cities and should be solved by the citizen and the government and the industry. So the citizen should come up with solution to their problem. So, and we talk about hackathon, about open innovation, and so on. And we talk now about the quadruple helix. Before we talk about the triple helix, the government, industry, and academia. Now we talk about the quadruple helix with the center, the citizen. So we talk about government, industry, academia, and citizen. But the citizen is at the center, not the technology, not the government, and not the industry. So this is the third generation. We have some successful cases, Vienna, Vancouver, Medellin in Colombia, Dubai, But again, we studied the technology, and I will skip this. Again, we fall in a type of dichotomy. Why? Because even if we focus on the citizen, there is a dichotomy problem. Why? Because it's not clear. Is it a triple helix? So we have basically 4 types of dichotomy. Is it technology-led or holistic? Is it top-down or bottom-up? Is it coming from the government or from the citizen? Is it double or quadruple or triple helix? Is it monodimension or integrated? So all of these problems are not solved till now. We don't have a definition for a smart city now. I collected more than 196 definitions. There is no definition. There is no agreement. The focus is the citizen, but they focus on the citizen as empowered people to contribute to a technical solution. We talk about hackathon. We talk about innovation. So look at this. It's not pretty clear, but you see the studies of smart cities are, confused. Some studies, they focus on triple helix. Some studies, they include the quadruple helix. Some studies, they said, no, it's top-down. The smart city should be, led by the government, and then we engage the citizen at late stage. Some cities said, no, we have to engage the citizen at the beginning because the smart city is for the citizen. So there is a huge dichotomy in the field of smart cities. And we see it in the literature. So basically, till now, many smart cities, we studied 362 smart cities, they are on the wrong way, even if they focus on the citizen, because their target is quality of life, is technology, is innovation. Of course, they put the word citizen, but it's not in terms of livability, it's not in terms of well-being, but in terms of, okay, let's engage them. Let's them innovate, make some hackathon. So if we can have some startups. So the citizen is not in the heart, is not the ultimate goal of smart city project. So then the idea is to make a shift. So to shift from quality of life and all this economical innovation and technology to a really smart city for happy people, for well-being, we talk about livable city, not responsive city. So the ultimate goal now, many of smart cities, they've been thinking about it. I will give you an example. So just to show you that the quality of life is different from happiness. You live in a castle, but you live sad. You can have everything, and you are not happy. So there is a research paper mentioned the quality of life is different from happiness. So the ultimate goal of all the previous smart city projects is the quality of life, but it's not the happiness. So it's not for people, actually. It's to make their life easy, to avoid the headache coming from citizens. But we don't care if they're happy or not. The smartest city in the world is Barcelona. Look at what the CTO, the Chief Technology Officer of Barcelona, in 2017, she said, we have to rethink the smart city from the ground up, meaning rethink technology. She's CTO, focusing, or what we can do to serve the people instead of a technology push agenda. So this is the message from the CTO in 2017. So the smartest city in the world, Barcelona, which is completely technical, high-tech smart, and they engage people in terms of hackathon and innovation, they realize that they are doing that wrong because they don't focus on the happiness and the well-being. Just this month, we are in May, right? So in May 2019, the McKinsey Global Institute, I downloaded this report. It's called Tech for Good, and they are talking about well-being. So now, everybody is shifting to well-being, and this is a report just released in this month, in May 2019. In New Zealand, the budget of 2019 focus on well-being. In New Zealand we have also smart cities. So this is the budget of 2019. So everybody now, they realized that they made the mistake in terms of smart cities, and they have to readjust their path. And this is what we call the Generation 4 of Smart City, which is a complete shift. So in the Generation 4, we talk about, of course, smart city ecosystem. We talk about the quadruple helix. We talk about government. We talk about industry. We talk about collaboration. We talk about innovation, hackathon, open innovation, data, everything. But the ultimate goal is happiness, is well-being, is the real need of people. Not technology, not the quality of life, not innovation, is the happiness. So this is the new model, which will be adopted by Barcelona, by New Zealand, and by most of the cities now. So let me share with you the 3 or 4, success story of cities or nation which make their people happy. I will take 3 levels. The first level, or the 3 case studies. The first case study, I will talk about Bhutan. Why Bhutan is very interesting? Because it makes its citizens happy without technology or with less technology. And let me talk. So Bhutan, they have these 3 G goals, GDP, GNH, and GHG, which matching the 3 sustainability bubble I mentioned before. Of course, socially you are great. Environment, you are great. Economically, it's getting better. And what I have done, basically, I took, maybe it's not clear, I took the 6th dimension of the guy who has invented the 6th dimension. It's called Giffinger. He's from Vienna, which is smart economy, smart people, smart governance, smart mobility, smart environment, and smart living. And I matched them with the indicator of GNH of Bhutan. And when I matched them, I found that all the indicators, the 9 dimension and the 33 indicators, they are matching very well the smart cities definition. So Bhutan is a smart nation without technology. And this shows that the success story, the technology is what is not a target. The technology is a tool. You know? So I like this smart definition of Bhutan: sincere, mindful, astute, resilient, and timeless. So this is the real smart. It's not Internet of Things. It's not big data. It's not artificial intelligence. And also, before I came to Bhutan, I read a lot of books. And since 2 months, I was reading Bhutan. And I read an article which is the Prime Minister is acting as a doctor or surgeon each Saturday. You know, so he's working for people. And this is what makes Bhutan smart, without technology. So this is an example of smart cities or smart nation without technology. The second is to show you that smart city can be smart without technology. It's the case of the ideal city by Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci died 500 years ago. He proposed the smart city, 500 years ago. Which is level. The second case is I mentioned is the smart by design, again without technology. So what happened? Leonardo da Vinci has designed an ideal city only using urban planning and smart design. There is no technology. So what he has done, he has designed the city. You can find this YouTube video which show the representation of his city from his papers. So what he has done, he designed a city, which is called Ideal City, with 2 levels. The first level is for commerce, for logistics, and so on. This is the economical bubble. And the second level is for people, walkable city, people like green, parks, and so on. So the second level is for what? Is for social. And both levels are green. So it's environmental. So this city is designed by Leonardo da Vinci. It creates the balance between the 3 bubbles of the sustainability. And it's a smart without technology. So this is Leonardo. The second case, which is smart by design, I like these 2 cases, is the case of Bogota in Colombia. So in Bogota, the mayor of Colombia, which is called Enrique Panalosa, he's called the mayor of happy. They called him the mayor of happy because what he said, we might not be able to fix the economy. We might not be able to make everybody as rich as America, but we can design the city to make people happy. So basically, he has the same vision as Bhutan. He focuses on GNH, not the GDP. And the people called him the mayor of happy. Not himself, the people. So he said that we can make smart cities when we put a lot of green area, a lot of place where people can socialize, biking area where people can bike, walkable. We talk about walkable city, so people are healthy. And in walkable city, when you walk and you cross somebody, you say hello, how are you? So this is part of sociability. But you drive. You are under pressure because of the traffic. You scream and so on. You don't have time to say hello or to socialize. So this is a best example for me of a success story, how to develop happy city. And in that case, using smart design and urban planning. The third example is the case of Dubai. Of course, the Tekoba, they started by making Dubai smart cities. They focus on technology, and then they realized, no, this is not the right time. So let's adjust our path. So they come up with the happiness agenda, just to come back. Because they realized, and like Barcelona, we will be the smartest city, but if we focus on technology, it will be a failure. So this is the third example. So the 3 examples I mentioned, one example is to develop a happy nation or happy city without technology. You can do it. The example is Bhutan. The second, you can do it using smart design and urban planning. And the third level, you can be more happier if you use technology in a good way, of course. And then you complete the picture of happy city or happy nation. But if you focus on technology, it's a failure. If you focus on quality of life or, it's a failure. So the ultimate goal, again, is happiness, and you can achieve it whatever your resources. Some cities, I met some governors of cities, they said, we cannot do it. It's too expensive, smart city. I said, no, it's not too expensive. Because if you put the right regulation, if you put the right culture, if you put the right happiness, wisdom, you can make people happy without technology. But if you want to make better, happier city, you can make a better design and urban planning. And if you want to make it more happier, you can use technology. So as a conclusion, this is what I mentioned. This is the complete model. So as Shakespeare said, what is the city but the people? So we can develop the best smart city, but if you don't focus on people, it's not smart. It's a stupid city. And again, in this model, you mentioned, it's the quadruple helix. If you focus only on industry, it's a mistake. If you focus only on government, it's a mistake. You have to involve all the ecosystem of smart city. And you have to think about the three solutions: the culture, the wisdom, the regulation, the urban planning and design, and the technology. So these are the three levels if you can work. And this means that if you want to build the future happy city, urban planner should work with the technologists should work with the sociologists, psychologists, and from academia, from industry, from the government. They have to work all together to make the happier city of the future. For that reason, I don't call it smart city, I call it future city, because future city can be happy, can be healthy. And in our council, we develop this ecosystem. So in our ecosystem, basically it's based in Canada, Vancouver, we bring everybody on the table, and our focus is not technology. Technology is a mean, is not an ultimate goal. And then we try to talk with people from happiness perspective and try to join everybody, connect the dot to come up with solution to solve this problem, to make people happy. In some cases, maybe the city needs just to be a walkable city. In some cases, the city need to be more bikeable city. In some cases, maybe we can boost the happiness through technology, available technology, and so on. So my last slide is, we do not inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children. So we have to keep it safe for our next generation. Thank you very much.